Welcome back to another episode of The Money Codes. My name is Joel and I'm here to give you your daily money code fix. Today's video, what are the 5 things you need to pay attention to get a 780 score and above? And if you think it's only just paying on time, you've been misled. So I'm going to start off with highest all the way down to the lowest of the priority and the importance of each one of these items. Number 1 is your payment history. Your payment history is 35%. 35% of your credit score is, do you make your payments on time? It's that simple. But remember this, all the people that say all you have to do is just make your payments on time and don't worry about anything else, they're literally only 35% correct, because there's other items that impact your credit score. Okay, so number 1, 35% payment history, making sure that you make your payments on time each and every month, no exceptions. And on the very rare case where you do have a problem where you have missed a payment, where something happens, you couldn't make the payment for that month, there still are things you can do, such as sending out goodwill letters. Goodwill letters are important because you're able to appeal to the creditor and say, essentially, hey, my bad, I was going through a rough month, I was going through a rough couple of months, I'm a loyal customer, I've been here with you guys for years, please go ahead and correct that for us. Please go ahead and correct that for me. All right, that's a goodwill letter. So you always want to make sure, if you do nothing else, the biggest priority, make sure your payments are never late. And if you can't get access to a goodwill letter, check us out on moneycodes.com. I have resources for you. Number 2, what is the second most important item that you need to pay attention to when building a rockstar credit score? Number 2 is your usage. Your usage, or this could be called your utilization rate. Your utilization rate. What does that mean? What that means is, if you have a credit card for $1,000, if you go ahead to Best Buy and you just swipe, and you max out that card, you have maxed out the utilization rate for that card, and that is going to plummet. That is going to plummet your credit score. Why is it going to plummet your credit score? Because other companies, they don't want to look at your credit report and think that you need to use your credit, that you're living off your credit cards. People like, and this is what one of my mentors told me, these banks and these credit card companies, they want to give credit to people that don't look like they need the credit. So if I'm only spending 10%, 20%, 30% of my credit cards and I'm just leaving the rest untouched, I'm looking like, hey, I don't need the money. My income is taking care of everything else. I just use 15, 20% every month just to maybe get some rewards, some convenience. If I'm spending $1,000 maxing out my card every single month, the bank is going to look at me like, yo, something is wrong with this guy. He must be broke. He's living above his means. He's living off a credit card. He's a high risk. That's going to plummet your card. It's going to plummet your credit. So the second most important thing to do when getting your credit in shape, check out all of your accounts. Make sure nothing is over 30%. If you can get that under 10%, you're doing better than most people. But if you're under 30%, you're good. And there are still ways around that too. But for this video, we're going to keep it very simple, all right? What is number 3? The third most important thing that impacts your credit is the history. What do I mean by your history? What I mean is, do you have an account that was just opened last month? Did you just open up this account? Or did you have this account for 5 years, 10 years? If you only had it for a month or two, how do I know I can trust you if I'm the bank? How do I know that you have a history? Your reputation is built on great payment history. If you don't, I may not be able to give you that loan. I may not, right? So you want to make sure that any accounts that you have, you keep them open. You don't close down accounts. Keep your accounts open. Get that good age on them. And if you can't get age, let's say all of your accounts are just new, there's still something that you can do, which is getting an authorized user account. Authorized user. An authorized user account is where you're essentially taken onto somebody else's account. We'll use an example as maybe your parents. Let's say mom and dad have a Chase account, a Bank of America account that they had for 10 years, and you're starting off. Maybe you are rebuilding your credit. Your parents can actually put you as an authorized user on their old aged account that has good positive history, and your credit will get a boost. That's called using an authorized user account in order to kind of bypass and trick the system, so that even though you just started out rebuilding your credit report will look like you do have older aged credit. That's a trick. And if you need some tips on that, message me below and I can take care of that for you. What is the fourth? What is tip number 4 that impacts your credit? Tip number 4 is new credit. Are you someone that's just going out, very similar to the previous step, but are you someone that goes out and just applies to different accounts every time they get an offer in the mail? Are you going to your credit unions and your banks just opening a whole bunch of credit? Are you doing that? Are you just putting a bunch of new items on your credit report? Again, what did I say before? Banks and lenders, they want to give money to people who look like they don't need it. And if it's showing that you're having all these accounts, all these new accounts, why do you need all these new accounts, especially at once? Do you need it? Are you gambling on the side? Are you hustling on the side? Are you doing something sketchy? Why do you need it? Why do you need all these new accounts? So this is a systematic process. We want to be strategic in how we go ahead and add credit to our profile, the timing of it. You can't just be willy-nilly and just apply for everything at once and think you're going to do it the right way. You got to be strategic about this. And finally, number 5, your credit mix. Your credit mix plays an important role in the credit score that you have. What does that mean? Well, if the only thing that you have on your account is a Victoria's Secret card, a Best Buy card, and that's pretty much it, you have a thin file. There's not enough meat on the bones, so to speak. The creditors or the banks, they like to see a different sort of mix. They want to see that you have a mortgage. They want to see that you pay down on a car note. They want to see that you have an installment type of loan, which is a loan that you can get from a lot of credit builder accounts. For example, Self is a great one. I'll link that below. That you have credit cards. So the more that you're able to show the lenders that not only do you pay your bills on time, but you're able to pay down all sorts and all types of credit. Like I said, car notes, mortgage, credit cards, installments. Doesn't matter the price point. It doesn't matter the amount. Anything that you got on your credit report, you're responsible for. That shows that you are responsible. That shows that you're not a rookie. Okay? So those are the 5 things that you need to be mindful of when you're trying to get that 780 and above. I'll go over one more time as the recap. Number 1, 35% payment history. Payment history is the biggest thing. Do not miss out on those timely payments. Number 2, that utilization. Do not max out your credit cards. Keep that thing under 30%. Trust me, keep it under 30%. Number 3, the length of your credit history. You need to get that age. And if you don't have any aged accounts, get some authorized users. You may not even have to pay for it. Call your parents, call a family member who does have a great account. See if you can get on their account. Get an authorized user account. Number 4, what is the 4th one? New accounts. Don't just go out and just get a whole bunch of new accounts all at once. Time it strategically. You don't want just all new accounts on your report. You do not want that. And finally, your credit mix. I'm not telling you to go out and get a car note just to add a credit mix, but just be mindful of it. Be mindful that it may not hurt to go out and try to get an installment loan, or at least use one of the credit builder accounts, which I have linked below, because they report as installments and it actually helps. It actually helps your credit more so than just only having credit cards and store cards. Okay, so that is the quick 5 tips for today. Thank you for watching. I hope this video was of value to you. If you enjoyed it, you already know what to do. Please like and subscribe. If you've gone through any of these tips, or if you have any comments to add to the community, please post that below, and I'll see you in the next video.